Mike Bohn here with Malki Kawa, first round manager extraordinaire, man. So we're here, we're on the verge of fight night. Just tell me what kind of vibes you're getting from Tyron this week as he prepares to fight Jake Paul.
Great vibes. Robbie Lawler vibes.
Yeah.
Robbie Lawler fight week vibes.
Yeah. What kind of, like, tell me behind the scenes a little bit what that means to you.
Very focused, very prepared. Like, you could tell that he's confident in what he's done for this fight. Mm-hmm. So when you watch him, you see a very calm. Here's the best part about it: he didn't have to cut any weight.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So he's in a great mood. His spirits are good. I think that some of the things that the weight cut probably did to him. Listen, as fighters get older, weight cuts get harder. He was a professional, always made weight. So I think that watching the last 4 fights, watching those weight cuts and all that stuff, you know what I mean? Probably took a lot out of the tank. I think we're going to have a full tank tomorrow. I think we're going to be able to go to the distance. I think we're going to be able to knock him out. I think we're going to be able to do whatever we want to do. And that's the beautiful thing about this. The whole team's confident in his ability.
Yeah, and it's been a bit of a chaotic week. I mean, obviously we had the press conference incident. Yep. He did the face-to-face interview with Ariel Helwani and Jake yesterday. Like, after all this stuff happens and you see him, in the hotel room behind the scenes, like, is he still fired up, or is he taking it all very well from what you noticed?
No, he's taking it very well. Let me tell you this. I mean, I think people forget that Tyron has been in big fights, and Tyron has been in championship fights, and Tyron has been the center of attention numerous times, and he's fought on big cards, whether he was the champion or not. I mean, so he's used to having 50 cameras in his face. He's used to having 1,000 people asking him. Listen, everybody questioned him when he was champion. Everybody questioned him when he wasn't champion. You know what I mean? So it's always been there. So it's this whole, can he box? Can he not box? He's used to it. There's always something every fight week, every single time. So Jake Paul sitting on a face-to-face talking trash to him, it's what's different than anything that happened in this past, right? So he's used to this. This is nothing new to any one of us. I mean, we've all been there. So.
And can you talk about the financial side a little bit? I know in MMA it's a lot more secretive, and in boxing it's kind of an open secret in that sense. Can you give us a ballpark, an idea of what kind of money Tyron's going to make in this fight?
Yeah, I mean, listen, he's making 7 figures, and he's making substantial 7 figures. And he's got a good piece of everything that's going on in this fight. And at the same time, like. Here's what I will tell you. So, for a pro debut boxer, he's made the most money ever in the history of the sport. For a pro debut boxer, He's made more money in the history of boxing. Floyd Mayweather didn't make more money in his 3rd fight. Mike Tyson didn't make more money in his 3rd fight. Manny Pacquiao didn't make more money in his 3rd fight or 1st fight or 2nd fight.
Yeah.
So, Tyron Woodley's making more money.
Maybe Conor would be competitive against Floyd or something like that, but that was a lot of pay-per-view too, right?
That's a good point.
It's close.
Maybe I'm off.
Maybe second. Either way, that's still a good one.
You know what? I'm glad you reminded me of that. I completely forgot Conor did that. Yeah, you're right. You're right. Damn. Fuck. Yeah, you're right.
Either way, that's a great
point. Listen. You know what? Listen. Here's the deal. The reality of it is, it's a massive payday for him. You know what I mean? And I'm happy for him. I'm happy for everybody involved. And I think that that's where our hats get taken off to Jake Paul and you know what I mean, what they're trying to create as far as their promotion. They're finding stars. They're paying them to come fight. And listen, they're not giving away money. It's not like we didn't negotiate this. There was a tough negotiation for a minute. There was other fighters and managers trying to undercut and do it for cheap, which is part of the problem in the business. And so therefore, but I'm a little bit different. I'm more, for me, it's easier to say we're just not doing it and fuck it, we'll just move on. And I know that my fighter probably would have been pissed, but he didn't know about it until I actually started pushing the fight forward and getting the fight. So if that makes sense, if you understand what I'm saying. So I just was not, I championed for the fight. I went after it. A lot of things went on behind the scenes. And that's where we're at. But the money is good. He's making a 7-figure payday. And it's not like 1 million. He's making more. And he's got a piece of everything as well. So we expect him to have to walk out of here with a real substantial payday.
That's great
for his first fight in boxing.
And the expectation is we're going to do this all over again right after, right? Because there is a rematch clause, correct?
Listen, they asked for it. We said yes. Yeah. We understand why you're asking for it. You know what I mean? Like I keep telling people, I don't think people understand. Like Tyron Woodley has been in MMA. How long would you say, Mike? 15 years?
Yeah, he debuted in 2009 in MMA?
Okay, so he had probably all the training and stuff.
Yeah.
So if you're to 2009 to 21, what are we looking at, 12 years?
Yeah.
Okay, so every MMA fighter I know, that I manage, that I represent, they box.
Yeah.
Tyron's been doing it for 19 or 20 years. So when people, Jake Paul's been boxing and Tyron hasn't, he's boxed in a boxing event. Tyron's been boxing his whole life. You know what I mean? And then you guys saw that in the cage a lot of times. You know, he knocked people out. He had, you know, the punching power. So I'm interested to see how he actually does just in a boxing match. But yeah, I mean, this is gonna be a good one.
Yeah, and last thing, I know we are an MMA site, and you have a wide roster of clients. Is there anything in particular that excites you coming up with one of your other clients? You know, in the final stretch of the year here.
You know, that excites me. I mean, listen, it's all exciting, right? Every single fight's exciting. But, you know, well, I'll give you a couple names I think that are interesting. Ilya Topuria, right, is going to get a fight in the top 10, and I think that's going to be an interesting one. If it materializes, if the side takes it. If they do, he's one that I think will end up fighting for a belt by the end of next year, and he's one that I would suggest people keep their eyes on. I'm very excited about him and his future. The other one that I'm excited about, and you guys know him very well, is Jorge Masvidal. Just try to see what the next steps are. You know what I'm saying? So there's so many options there, and we just got to get out to Vegas and meet with the UFC, and we were planning on doing that after this week. So hopefully in the next 2 weeks we can get out there and start figuring out what's going on for him. But we're looking for the fight that makes the most sense for him to get back to a title. So you know what I mean? All this, he's ducked this guy and ducked that guy. That Masvidal's not ducking anybody. Trust me, Don. Listen, Masvidal asked me if he should fly in after all the talk that started happening, and I said, just stay home, bro. You know, for what? He didn't, you know, he was like, let me know, and I was like, nah, stay home. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, right. So, after the stuff, was he annoyed by what Jake said?
He wasn't annoyed by it. I don't think you guys noticed his response. I don't think he really, like, you know what I'm saying, paid attention to it. Yeah. But then I think he was more annoyed with the whole Mama Woodley thing than he was anything else. Right. You know, him and Tyron are friends. They've trained together. They've been in this game together for a long, long time. I know they support each other a lot. And Mama Woodley's been nothing but good to every single person, whether it's part of Tyron's camp or not. You guys have seen that year in and year out, day in and day out, every fight. Whether her son wins or loses, she's always on the other side. Even if it bothers Tyron, she goes to the other side, congratulates them. If they lose, she consoles them. You know what I mean? And she's always been that type of person. You know, she always makes sure to keep this in context that it's a sport, it's a contest. Yes, it's a fight, but you know, we're not fighting because we want to hurt somebody or kill somebody. Although the fighters may not act that way, she always tries to keep everything level. You know what I mean? So the fact that you saw what happened the other day, and I think he was annoyed by it, just like everyone in MMA was, and that's really probably why he wanted to come out here. It had nothing to really do with, you know what I mean? And I think it was also to support Tyron. I just told him to stay back. I said, well, you know what I mean? So that's all that is. And if I give Tyron, if I give Masvidal an opportunity to fly out of Miami and go visit somewhere else, he would take it every single time. So I think he was looking for an excuse to come hang out. But stay your ass home, Masvidal.
All right, appreciate the time, Malki. Yeah, best of luck Sunday.
Yep.